The NASCAR Winston Cup Series is back after its second off week of the season. We are back at Road America for the first ever time in the Winston Cup Series for the running of the Pepsi 500K. This is the midpoint in the season, so these drivers know that they have to get into it if they want to get into the championship fight. I'm Joe Ricassi, alongside me, Trey Bardo. Trey, these drivers just coming off an off week for the second time this season, and now they're coming to a brand new course. Never raced here before. We had a practice session earlier yesterday, then qualifying. Says the only laps these drivers have ever had at Road America. What do you expect to see out of today's race?
Yeah, I don't know if having an off week right before a brand new track, especially a road course, is helpful for the drivers, or would it go against them?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. You know, you can kind of rest mentally and prepare for what you're going to have to do, but at the same time, you're like, man, what am I going to do when I get to that track? Because this is unlike any other track we've ever seen in the Winston Cup Series calendar. It has 14 corners. It's over 4 miles long, Trey. These drivers have to be on it every lap to get to victory lane, and that's something that Lathan Strickland did in qualifying. He got pulled by nearly 2.5 tenths, Trey. Absolutely dominant performance for Lathan Strickland and Dale Earnhardt Incorporated.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see where he is, but I don't know. It's like you said, it's a new track, so I don't know what to expect or even to say if he's in a good position or not.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because he'll be on the outside entering turn one. That could actually hurt him if they go maybe 3 wide on him. Speaking of 3 wide, it could be interesting with the 2 championship contenders at this moment in the season. Brett Sierra, second in points, starts in 4th place. He's gained on Chris Jericho in terms of the points in the last few races. Jericho starts right behind him in 6th. Could we see a possible dive into turn 1 by Chris Jericho? We don't know, because we don't know what's going to happen on the start here, but with Jericho starting right behind Sierra, it could be interesting into the heavy braking zone of turn 1. And also watch for Justin Atkins. Has had a great season as a rookie for RCR. In fact, RCR as a whole has had a dismal season, but Atkins qualified well in 5th place, and after some of the run-ins he had the past few weeks with Conrad Evans started a little bit further back. Atkins started up inside the top 5 trade. This has to be great for the rookie, great momentum booster into the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was just, a slow learning first half of the season, and the second half they're really going to let that 29 car fly, and I mean, this is going to be the start of it. We'll just have to see how he can do on a brand new track. Maybe he'll get the head start on the rest of these veterans and other guys.
We will have to see, as it's now getting down to command time. We start a little bit late because there's a lot more time to talk during the pace laps. It's 4 miles long. It's going to take about 4 minutes to get through this pace lap. It's time to go down and get the command to fire the engines up for the first ever Road America NASCAR Winston Cup Series event.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, you know what, Trey? I think the fans here in Wisconsin are very excited to see Winston Cup Series racing, and these 42 Winston Cup Series stars ready to do battle here in Road America. Let's talk a little bit about the weather right now, because this is a little bit overcast, unfortunately, for the first ever time here at Road America. Cloudy, 74 degrees. The air temperature is still pretty warm for being overcast. 8 miles an hour wind in the east direction. There is a 15% chance of rain, but we don't think we'll hit that throughout this race at Road America. This track located in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It's 4.048 miles in length, the longest track on the schedule to this point. It has 14 corners, 9 of which are right-handers, 5 of which are left-handers. The track built and started operation in 1955. The first race, obviously, this year, 2001. The race is going to be 16 laps long. It seems short, but the laps are about 2 minutes each time around. And the fuel window, 8 to 10 laps. That'll be interesting to see. Will they pit immediately at halfway? Will they try and run it out a little bit to try and get an overcut? Maybe thought the overcut could be more dominant throughout this race, so we'll see how that goes for these drivers. And obviously we don't have any past winners here at Road America since this is the first ever race, but watch for drivers like Jordan Edwards, who won the last ever road course race at Riverside. Watch for Brett Sierra, who won last season at Riverside. Trey, you won last season at Watkins Glen, so you know how to get it done at road courses, but we're excited to get going in the first ever competition here at Road America. Trey, as we do this pace lap, this is just something so unique. I mean, look at this course. I would get lost going around this track.
I'm lost right now, and I'm supposed to know where the corners are here. Where are we at right now on the track?
Well, we're coming up to the final few. In fact, we'll see the carousel here in just a few corners. The carousel, one of the more important corners, very long and sweeping. but very narrow as we go through it. So these drivers are trying to go 2x2 through it on, the start of this race could end up into some issues as they're here to the carousel right now. Maybe
Speedville.
Yeah, Speedville. They're going to be carrying some serious speed into this, and right here they're going to try and negotiate this corner right here, Trey, one of the more important corners on the racetrack.
Yeah, this looks a little... Wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought. Yeah, this looks a little tricky. I mean, you're going to have to balance being able to turn the car, being able to control it, as well as getting as much speed off for as you can here as we come up a little bit of a hill, it looks like, as well. So that'll be... watch it, Joe. That might come into play later.
Then we'll come up to the kink as we'll go to the back of the field. We want to talk about a few drivers. Talk about Zach Fitzwater Sr., right? This man known for his road course abilities in F1, but here today, Trey, he did not qualify well yesterday. We'll be starting at the back of the field. What can Fitzwater try and do to overcome this kind of disadvantage he's at right now?
Well, he's going to have a little bit more, comfortable. He's going to be a little bit more comfortable on the braking because, he grew up on road courses, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him outbrake some guys here. Maybe put a little bit more riskier moves going on to try to get up front here. So be on the lookout for that.
Then the back three cars failed inspection. Jack Haas, along with Nolan Lawrence and Jacob Boyd for Haas. And Boyd, they were set to start inside the top 30. Nolan Lawrence was set to start back here anyway. He had only out-qualified Roger Ray, so not too much of a loss for Nolan Lawrence. We're here into Canada corner, one of the final few corners on the racetrack. So, Trey, these Wisconsin fans are getting excited because we're into the final few corners of the track, which means we're ready to go green flag racing for the first ever time in the Winston Cup Series in Wisconsin.
Are you excited, Joe?
I am excited. I mean, this is the biggest unknown so far this season. One of the 3 new racetracks on the schedule that are located in the Midwest. We're about ready to get going with Lathan Strickland for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated on pole. Keyshawn Richardson for Roush Racing will start in second. That's a Hendrick second row with Justin Zeidel and Brett Searer. Watch for Atkins and Jericho from the third row. Maybe some of the underdogs like Clifton in the 7th place and Caden Lynn 8th. And also watch for Luke Rennie back in 10th. He's looking for his first ever win with Mathis Wells also on that 5th row. They climb the hill to take the green flag here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. We're green flag racing for the first ever time at Road America.
Joe, you're talked about it already. Jericho was about to peak 3 wide, but I think Brett shut him off.
I think Brett did move down just about half a lane, but Keyshawn Richardson got run to turn 1, has to lift on the bomb, but can he get by Lathan Strickland as they enter turn 2? You already see the cars scattering around further back in the pack.
I don't know what the trouble quarters here are, so I'm just kind of watching everything with a grain of salt and hoping we don't see anyone go flying off the track.
I don't think these drivers know what the trouble points are going to be either, but further back in the pack, they're already looking 3 wide as drivers try and get the advantage. Anthony Hernandez trying to get by Tim Gary. Ronald Kangton, who has some road course abilities, moving up nicely. Eli Brett's looking 3 wide top into the heavy braking corner. They go over 170 miles an hour down to about 60 in this corner, Trey.
That's a lot of stress on those brakes. I hope they can last all 16 laps. Look at Atkins.
3 wide on Zeidel and Jericho. They're getting aggressive for 4th place. This is Zeidel trying to keep it. He goes a little bit wide off into the grass, and Jericho should be able to get that spot. Now Atkins coming at Zeidel. Noah Clinton looks 3 wide to the inside the 32.
I don't even know where he came from. He's going to push wide, though. He's kept it on the track. Who else went wide there? I think the 6 who isn't going wide in that corner.
Yeah, everyone trying to figure out the track limits, but you know what? There's no track limits. This is NASCAR stock car racing, Trey. They don't need track limits.
No, I mean, if you go off track, it might help you, but in those cases, it's going to hurt you.
Watch for the inside, the kink right here. These drivers were voicing about how hard it's going to be to go side by side through there. We were wondering who's going to have to lift. Looks like the guy on the inside has to lift, and it hurts Luke Rennie bad here as they enter another long straightaway into Canada corner for the first time today.
This is going to be a big diving spot right here. We'll see if the 29 is going to be able to do it. Looks like he is. He's going to get a little bit of help from the 20 as well. 66 might have gotten a little wide there, but I don't think he topped the grass. Or the gravel, that is.
Yeah, I think he barely kept it on the curves and out of the gravels. Here's the final corner, another very important corner because this leads to a very long straightaway. Atkins goes wide. Lynn is into the gravel now in the 01.
I don't know. Maybe he locked it up there. I mean, it kind of looked like he was fine, and then the car just went straight, so I'm thinking he locked it up.
Oh, look at Eli Bright trying to move out in the 8 car. Can't do. He's stuck by Caden Lynn as Eli's teammate Lathan Strickland led the first lap here at Road America. It's chaos back about mid-pack. As we go back up here, Keegan Thompson right behind Wilson, but gets tight behind him. Nathan Barrett to the inside. Keegan's all over the place. Caden and Eli Bright still getting close at the front. Atkins, Luke Rennie, Mathis Wells go at it for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Wells was able to keep 8th. Luke Rennie loses that spot. As we have about for 2nd place, it's 2nd and point. Searer get by Keyshawn Richardson. And Chris Jericho right behind. Look at that side-by-side out in front of him. As once again, the heaviest braking corner on the racetrack right here.
I mean, with these 3 battling right here and having to fend for themselves, it's just kind of letting Lathan Strickland run at his own pace. Look at Oh, Jericho's going to think about it, but I don't think he had enough run.
Yeah, I don't think if he was a little bit closer, Trey, I think he would have taken it. But he wasn't close enough, and Keyshawn and Brett are going to fight. Keyshawn a little bit off course, and now Jericho's a run at him for possibly that third spot.
Yeah, that lets Sierra get a big... Oh, did he go wide there?
He did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, look, he got off, and here comes Idell around the outside of the carousel. And once again, if Jericho cannot clear through the carousel, this could be Zidell's spot because Jericho will be on the inside of the kink, but I think he's able to complete the pass on the 24 again.
This is the one thing I do like about this track. Is
Whoa!
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think he was clear.
I don't think he was either. Did these two? I can't remember. These two haven't run him before like that?
I mean, if they didn't, they were about to, and you know what? It might not be done throughout the rest of this race because I don't think Zidell's going to be too happy with that. Great run for Clifton as well, staying in there in 6th place right now for that PPI Motorsports car. His teammate Brandon Beal missed the race, so it's great to see Clifton up here doing well as we have a battle for 7th. Wells trying to take it from the rookie Atkins.
These two are still going. I mean, I don't think there has been a part of the race where they weren't battling each other at one point.
Oh, yeah, they've been going at it all throughout. Battle up front for 4th place. Zidell trying to get the run on Chris Jericho, but Jericho trying to get the push from Clifton to keep that 4th spot. It looks like it might just be enough into turn 1. We'll see if he cuts the 24 off just like he did off of the kink.
Wow, throughout that entire lap, Lathan Strickland gained 5/10 up on 2nd place of Brett Sierra there. That's quite a bit. I mean, just for one lap around this place, but again, one small mistake, you could lose all that time.
And Zidell almost lost 5th spot to Clifton, who got a nice run into turn 3, but couldn't get it done. Atkins retakes 7th as well as it just taken at the line. Atkins takes it back. This brings Luke Rennie back into the battle. Ryan Wilson's moved up nicely in the 45 up to 10th. Right behind the Mitch Corbett also up in 11th place. Thompson's moved up nicely from the start in 12th. Stanworth is 13th. Chung is 14th. And Nathan Barrett's at the top 15. And it's still a mess back here with Eli Bright, Jordan Edwards, Eli's teammate Hernandez. There's Kukulan, there's Burnett. Maybe a bump and run for Burnett. And he set the one into the gravel.
I don't know if there was any contact there, in honor of maybe Hernandez got a little nervous with the 17. He is sending it in every corner.
Yeah, I would almost have to think there's contact if the 17 sent it that big into the 30. And, you know, Burnett's using those Roush brakes pretty well at this moment in this race. As obviously they're fresh, so they have, you know, the biggest braking ability out of them. As Eli Bright's looking on Yepes trying to get around the outside of the carousel here in that number 4. As all 3 of the Morgan LaCour Motorsports cars have started well in this race. They all started inside the top 21. They've all moved up nicely from their initial starting spots.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that trend continues there, if they can slowly start to move their way further up, or maybe they're getting ready for, you know, the halfway through this race here, and they got a strategy up their sleeve as Laura Chung might be making a dive.
She's trying.
No.
Stanworth might fend her off at the moment. I think he did. So a great defense there by Stanworth to keep Laura Chung at bay as Trey, these two are still going at it.
He's going to dive it up the inside this time, but I don't know. I think the 29 might get the advantage here going up the hill. Actually, they're still pretty even.
And for the lead, Brett Sierra is on Lathan Strickland into turn 1. So that's a Hendrick car trying to battle the DEI car for the lead into turn number 1. Sierra with the inside preferred advantage. And if these two keep battling like this, Keyshawn Richardson will be right there in the 3rd spot. And Clifton's gotten the 5th by Zidell as well.
And they got cleared, but Richardson's going to get there too. Lathan might lose 2 spots here.
Yeah, he did. Look at that. That was a big run for Keyshawn right there. And he's going to get the draft on the straightaway. Watch him to make a dive right here into this heavy braking zone.
Is he going to peek? He might not even take a peek at it. No, I think he might be setting it up for... I mean, he could be going for the small kink. He could be getting offense by Lathan.
Yeah, he could be getting past right here because Lathan's trying to come back. The pole sitter trying to get some spots back, but Keyshawn fights hard. This is some great battling. Strickland off track, and Keyshawn's going to get that 2nd spot. Now can Keyshawn run Brett Sierra down?
I mean... You know, again, it's just all comes... Oh, look, they're not battling anymore, Joe.
No, Mathis lost a ton of ground behind Luke Rainey. Almost got passed by Wilson, who sent it off track there. Mitch Corvette's going at the 45 now. But, yeah, Wells lost the spot to Luke Rainey. Now Atkins is going to be on the back of Zidell for the 6th spot here if Justin can't get away from him and close in on Noah Clifton.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the good thing about this track is that no one has any advantage on it. I mean, all these guys pretty much have done the same exact amount of practice as everyone else on here, so... I mean, they're still learning the track at this point.
Yes, they are. I mean, they're just coming around to complete 4th lap of race conditions, right? You know, they've been here in practice, whatever, but they have not done any race runs. You know, you can go out there and say, all right, let's do a long run here. Let's do like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 laps. but you don't know anything until you get out here into the race and you're pushing 110% trying to get by people. That's when you're really simulating what the race is going to be like, when you're actually in the race.
Yeah, and the scary thing about that is that you don't know if your equipment will be able to withstand it all.
Exactly.
I mean, anything can go wrong. You blow a motor, you blow a tire, you blow the brakes, because that could be a big issue there is with how hard these guys are braking, especially on this straight like this, or, you know, the one that's coming up here within a couple of corners. I mean, these brakes are under a lot of pressure, so that could result to so many different problems with these cars.
That is the great thing about Road America, is that there are so many unique, aspects of this racetrack. Not only is it a road course, you expect the technical portions, but it's a very fast road course. These guys are steaming down the straightaways. There's a few long straightaways here where they can get up to fast speeds. I mean, as mentioned, the end of the straightaway, they're going over 170 miles an hour. That's like at a normal oval if you go that speed. I mean, and then they have to brake down to about 60 miles an hour for this corner right here. Just such intense workout on the cars, the brakes, everything about it. And, I mean, it's showing with the quality of racing. There are battles all over this racetrack.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like no matter... Oh, who was off big time?
Yeah, someone went off wide, but I think it might have been Lathan, because Jericho's right on his back bumper here.
I would have to assume it was, or, I mean, Jericho went off there once or twice before this, I think, so it could have even been him, but... Joe, at this point, who hasn't been off the track?
I think if you're not off track, you're not trying, as Zidell got close right there. Atkins to his inside, but into the kink. This could be interesting if Atkins doesn't want to lift. He has to let off. Now, Wells might have a shot at him because Atkins was on the inside of the kink. Look at this. It's stacked everyone up. Here comes Mitch Corbett trying to get a few spots in the 66.
When isn't the... Oh! Blocking going on.
Yeah.
And...
I don't think Corbett's going to appreciate that.
I don't think I would appreciate it either, Joe.
No, I mean, we'll see if Corvette can get up to Mathis, if something might happen. But yeah, definitely these battles are getting more intense as the battle for third was steaming up, but it looks like Lathan's able to keep it. Battle behind for the top 5. Luke Rainey started 10th in this race, moving up, trying to get by Noah Clifton for 5th spot. So Luke Rainey showing some serious pace in that number 88 for Robert Yates racing, trying to get by the 32, and you would think the 88 would have the advantage down the straightaway because of the horsepower advantage with that Robert Yates Ford.
It looks like he was able to stay with him there, so maybe the 32 had a little bit of a better jump coming off of the last corner there, which kept him ahead, but Luke Rainey's still on the bottom. He's going to drive it off that one. That was a power move.
That was a power move. Just showed the grip in the rear end of that 88 to be able to get back into the gas so soon, and down the straightaway with the horsepower advantage, he should have it, but you never know because Clifton could get into the draft. The front 4 have gotten away nicely as Brett's not getting too far away from Keyshawn Richardson. Lathan Strickland not letting them get too far away. Chris Jericho sees Sarah leading this race. He wants to now get by Lathan to try and get to 3rd place and minimize the points lost to the 25 if Brett were to win this race.
It looks like not quite yet. Lathan does. Oh, they both might have touched the gravel there, but it looks like Lathan does not want to give up that 3rd place spot.
No, Lathan knows that.
Oh
man, Jericho sent that in deep, but Lathan knows that once we get to pit stops, right? If your pit crew can do well on pit road, or if your crew chief performs a good strategy, you'll be right in there. So you want to stay as close to the leader as possible to try and maybe do an overcut or an undercut, something like that.
You think Lathan's trying to make up for Pocono?
He could be, right? I mean, you have to think that was on his mind throughout Road America. His teammates finished 2nd and 3rd, and he never sniffed the top 20. He finished outside the top 30 in that race. So definitely, Lathan is trying to make up for Pocono in the best way possible to maybe win DEI's first ever race. He's right now in 3rd place, but not too far away from the front 2 as Brett Serra not so good off turn number 14. Keyshawn will have a run up the hill all the way down the straightaway, and the gap has closed between the 25 and the 99 drastically.
I mean, we're on lap 7 right now, Joe, so you know what that means. Next lap or 2?
Pit stops.
About halfway. Yeah, exactly. So who's in the I'm going to go with if the 15 and the 18 go with the undercut, they might not be in a bad position.
Yeah, we'll just have to see, what's the strategy, what's the preferred strategy. Will the undercut work better? Will there even be an undercut? Because everyone might try the undercut, right? If everyone tries the undercut, then it's just a normal pit stop. Then maybe the overcut works because I'd rather be on pit road when there's less congestion. You can maybe get on and off faster.
Yeah, again, with how we've seen pit road lately, I just want to be by myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't trust people.
I'd maybe push my fuel to just get there, maybe lap 10 and hope
I
can go that way. So we have a battle for the lead. Keyshawn, great exit off that corner. Gets beside Brett for the race lead here at Road America.
These guys got to be careful not to touch any gravel here. You lose a lot of speed. Ooh.
And
I don't know if he did or not.
He's still trying to keep it down there. Look at the send on foot. He
oh.
gave him the bump off the track.
I don't know how Brett Sierra kept the car underneath him.
Yeah, I thought he was into the gravel trap. Once the 99 gave him a tap, I mean...
Oh, here comes the kink, Joe.
Yeah.
If they stay side by side.
Keyshawn couldn't get the power down off the carousel.
Can we talk about that small save Brett Sierra had? I mean, that could have been the end of his race.
That was impressive car control, right? But that's why he's second in points, again on the points leader, because he has that talent to do just that type of save. But Keyshawn's not letting him get away. He is right there in the Canada corner. And I mean, this final corner, we've seen drivers mess it up so much here today. If Brett messes up, Keyshawn's going to be right there. And if they start stalling down the straightaway, Lathan and Jericho make it a 4-car race for the lead.
You definitely know Brett Sierra feels the presence of Richardson. He actually went wide.
He did. Look at Keyshawn over the back, and now Jericho for third on Strickland up the straightaway.
Oh, what's this going to mean? I think Lathan might get the little bit of the draft. It looks like he cleared himself again, but Richardson's all over the brack of Sierra.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't peeked out for a move into turn one. He's just going to stay right there. Oh, he overdrove the corner, missed the apex. Now he's off track.
Was there contact there? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either, but I mean, Keyshawn's giving it his all, that's for sure. Jericho misses turn 3.
Wow, that was a big miss right there. Look at the amount of time he lost.
Yeah, now Lathan's gaining back on the front two because they've been battling, and while there's a little bit of a gap, let's do the one shot now, right, Trey? Because there's too much action happening. We don't want to miss any of it.
All right, I'm ready.
So we talked about last week, first-time winners in the Winston Cup Series. Which of the 4 drivers would get it first? You said Eli Bright, and Trey, you were right. 54% said Eli would get his first win first of the drivers mentioned.
I mean, you just got to go with, all the hype that's around him. I mean, it honestly could work against him, too, if you think about it. He's going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders until he does get that first win. It's not if he does, it's when he does. So we'll have to, ooh, that was close, but we'll have to see who out of the 4 does get it first.
I'll be honest, Trey, we could probably put Eli's name on what's the best track in NASCAR, and he would still win. I just think that's the Bright family name coming to help him out there.
Oh, it definitely.
Well, this week, considering Eli won last week's poll, let's have this poll about Eli this week, right? He's not running so well here today, but his contract is still up for negotiation and up for talks, and rumors are still spreading around about it. So, Trey, this week's lunch chat, where will Eli Bright end up racing for next season? Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, Roush Racing, or Hendrick Motorsports?
I'm going to be honest with you. I would be surprised if he leaves DEI. I mean, it's an up-and-coming team. They show they have the speed to be up front. I mean, you said they got second and third last time we raced at Pocono. Lathan's running up in the top 3 right now. Why would you be leaving a team that is showing that they're slowly starting to come around? And when they do come around, I mean, they're going to be strong for a while. So what's the point of leaving that just to go to, a bigger team right now?
Yeah, I would also argue DEI would be the place he ends up, just because, the relationship he's built with his teammates as well, Hernandez and Lathan.
That is true. And I mean, wherever he goes, the sponsors are going to go. So, that's just kind of how to play it out. I would be honestly surprised if he does leave that number 8 car.
Well, as we finish up that pit stop start, 2 tires in a way for Ryan Wilson. Jordan Edwards also came in. They are the 2 going for the undercut, trying to get track position that way. Strickland gets by Keyshawn Richardson. Maybe not quite yet. A bow for second is on, and Brett Sierra is gapping because of it.
We'll have to see what happens here. This is trouble spot. They kept it clean so far.
And now will Keyshawn do another dive right here? Ooh. No, not like he did with Brett.
That was a big little bit of a run there for the 15. I mean, he just looked like he zoomed in front of Keyshawn before they even touched the corner. Oh my goodness.
Corvette way off, and Atkins might get that 9th spot from the 66. That was a very big moment for Corvette. Luckily saved the car because he's having a great run right now for NASCAR Motorsports.
And then, I mean, yeah, it looks like these guys are finally settling.
As they battle right here, Lathan getting a run here as Keyshawn's looking down, but pit stops are definitely imminent, as the front runners are probably going to want to pit soon once they saw some drivers come in last time.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to definitely think that here comes Sierra, here comes Lathan, here comes Richardson, here comes Jericho.
So all the front 4.
Here comes Rainey, here comes Wells, here comes the 32, here comes the 20. All right, so they're all coming.
Atkins has damage.
Oh my goodness.
Where did he get
What?
that from?
Well, looks like we have something to look up afterwards.
Yeah, Laura Chung
I mean,
is going to be the one to stay out another lap, try and maybe do an overcut.
well, talk about Laura Chung. She's been on a... Oh, that's big damage for the 29.
That is big damage. And
What happened?
Corbett! It was him and Corbett that got into it.
They were side by side. Oh, that's big damage on the 66. I wonder if the carousel or the kink. Joe, the kink.
Yeah. Brett's down
That
away.
would be my guess.
Lathan's
but I
leaving
don't
right
know.
with them, trying to get out. Oh, no!
Oh, Lathan! Oh, no.
Oh, and that just slowed everyone up behind. Look at Mathis Wells, the gap he gained off all that in the 20.
Well, Joe, we did talk about it. It's a new track. Drivers are still getting used to it, and that first pit stall has a... Oh, we're getting racy again, but that first pit stall has an Armco cement, barrier there to protect some of the safety personnel, and I think it caught Lathan off guard.
I think it did, and now Lathan with that damage.
Oh, that is big damage, too,
Yeah.
for that to happen right there.
And this being a track with, aerodynamics mean a lot. Long straightaways, fast speeds, heavy braking corners, and you have to see Lathan falling back here throughout this race and maybe even falling outside of the top 10. Some of the drivers that did the undercut, Ryan Wilson worked out for him. He should be up inside the top 10 at the all of this. Jordan Edwards, I think, moved up nicely in the 9 as well. There he is right behind Yepes, so he's gained a few spots off where he is. The question is going to be, where does Laura Chung factor on all this, because she still stayed out. I think some others stayed out as well. So Laura Chung kind of leading this strategy, drivers that wanted to stay out a little bit longer and try and do an overcut to see if that would maybe work out.
Yeah, she has a decent gap, so if she can time this right and not make any mistakes going onto pit road when she does decide to do so, I mean, she might not be in a bad position. She'll have the fresher stuff too, and even though it's maybe a lap or two, that's quite a bit on a track like this.
Yeah, so she'll come in this time by. So Laura Chung in on an overcut. Looks like Conrad Evans will also pit. Here comes Kennington and Spurley Tube, along with DeLello and the rest of the field that has come in fit to one of them as well. So they're in now. Brett Sear with a massive gap over his championship rival, Chris Jericho. So Sear just has to be patient here, and he should have the race on lock with 6 laps to go here, and these drivers probably not coming out near him.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Oh!
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh my God. Pit road has been a mess lately.
The hard part about that too, I think Laura Chung arguably would have came out in about second place or so.
Yeah, she was going to gain a lot on that.
A very big amount. And is there any damage on the back of it? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think...
Who was that she collided with?
Looked like it
was that
Kukulon
again? Well, that's not the first time Kukulon's come in contact with a driver on pit road.
No, and it might not
It's not
be
even the
last.
second time.
Yeah.
Yeah. RCR might want to have a talk. Even NASCAR might want to have a talk with the 30 team there on their pit road executions. Oh, Lathan's very slow.
That is such a shame for a driver who led early on, and now he's getting... Oh, Matthew Burnett has been sending these corners in that number 17, and he's somehow able to make it work for the moment. But, yeah, Lathan is unfortunately dropping back in that number 15, who looked like he maybe could have a shot to battle with Brett right there, because he was going to leave pit road kind of right with them, is now going to be out of the running for maybe even a top 20.
Yeah, I can understand wanting to stay out to see where you end up, but I mean, at this point, with just how significant the speed difference is with your car and everyone else's, you might just want to come in and look it over. I mean, you could be having a tire rub there. You could have, hurt the engine itself. You could have broken something on the suspension. I mean, it's very slow.
And Keegan tried to pass him right there and couldn't. And that's going to actually cost Keegan, because now Laura Chung's going to have a run and get by. Now she's going to slice right to the inside of Lathan into Canada corner. Here comes Evans up behind Lathan with nowhere to go. So, yeah, this has been a bad run for Lathan Strickland in the second half of this race. Brett Sears loving it, though, as they're bound for second. Sears all the way at the top of it already with 5 laps to go. He's in cruise control right now as the battle for second is on. It's his championship rival, Chris Jericho, trying to keep second over Keyshawn Richardson. Mathis Wells in fourth. The watch is on. The gap is about 5 seconds from Brett back to the points leader, Jericho.
I mean, as long as Brett keeps it clean, I'd honestly be impressed to see if the second and third place car can make up those 5 seconds within about 4 laps, but if they keep battling like they are now. Oh,
Keyshawn
that
missed the
was
corner.
close.
Now
But
Mathis
I
might
was
have
gonna
a
say,
shot
if
for
they
third
keep
here.
battling, yeah, we'll have to see what goes down here.
Yeah, so to talk about some of the strategy gain, Ryan Wilson, with his overcut, came out in 6th. He was nowhere near the top 10. Laura Chung, even after the pit road mishap, comes out in 10th place. So as you mentioned, if she did not have contact with Kukulan on pit road, she possibly comes out inside the top 5, top 3, maybe even 2nd place, and the closest one to Brett Sierra, if anyone.
I'm truly going to argue she would have come out in 2nd place. I mean, she was coming off pit road by the time that contact was made, and the gap between the 18 and the 25 was pretty big. So I honestly think she would have came out in 2nd. I think they timed it perfectly. It's just, again, Kukulan and pit road and contact seems to be one of the biggest stories this season so far, and it's only halfway through.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Look at Fitzwater getting aggressive with Latham with that damage as the 15 continues to drop back. But from looking through this field in the running order, from what I've seen, it looks like the best strategy was kind of a mix between the undercut and the overcut. It looks like, when the front 4 pit was somehow the worst of all of the strategies that played out.
I honestly want to say that's because whenever the front 4 did pit, literally 90% of the field came with them.
Yeah, I guess that would be the case.
It pretty much canceled out, trying to be the second ones to pit in, because if everyone comes in with you, you don't get any advantage with anyone else. Are they going 3 wide?
They are in the Canada corner. Evan Hunter being very aggressive in that 36, trying to get by both Anthony Nez and Colin Teague, and he got by the 40. Now can he dispose of the one for Nez? They're still trying to go 3 wide further back as Jacob Boyce moved up nicely from the back of Lauren Lawrence. And they're all battling. I mean, this is insanity. And, Tim Gary's off.
My goodness. I don't know if he locked it up there or if he just completely forgot there was a corner there.
I don't know, but it was not so good as the 3 DI cars have found themselves together, and unfortunately it's not where they wanted to be as they're all back mid-pack outside of the top 20 with Lathan with that damage still dropping in. At this point, he might end up being last car on track at the end of all this with how slow that car is.
And you just gotta, it's just heartbreaking for that 15. I mean, they were arguably one of the best cars out here. They fell back out of the lead, but then they got right back up and was battling for it, and just had to have that incident happen on pit road there where that cement barrier just caught Lathan off guard and he smacked it. And I'm surprised that car is still even, drivable.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not like ripping the wheel out of his hands every corner with how I mean, something has to be
might
messed
be.
up.
You don't know.
That's true. Something has to be messed up in that suspension with how bad that damage looks. I mean, look at Baby Ruiz sending it in basically in the grass trying to make these moves back here.
Yeah, I think everyone's trying to find the best way to get around the 15 here, and at the same time, they're making very drastic moves to go down as well.
Yes, they are. Kukulan's kind of stuck behind Lathan at the moment. There's 11 of Williams right behind. You have 93 of Jack Haas and all these others trying to find a way around Lathan Strickland, but at the moment, there's no real plan to get around. You can't really tell where to go right now at the moment as Lathan's going to get... Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
That could have been bad if they went 3 wide into the kink because you could barely fit 2 cars through there. I don't know how they would have done 3.
Yeah, does the 30 have damage?
Yeah.
Can't tell if he has damage as well.
I think he has nose damage from when he hit...
that's right. Yeah, okay. I see. Oh, my goodness.
He might have more damage at the end of this thing because, I mean, the back of this pack, I don't know where they are going, but they're trying everything they can to wreck these cars.
Yeah, we already had one wreck so far this race, and we don't even know where or when it happened.
Oh, look at Ruiz. He got sent and Gary's off again.
Tim Gary missed it. I think he does not know what corner is there.
You have to think that maybe his brakes are starting to fade out. It's late in the race, and...
That is true. But you would think it would happen on the other hard-braking corners. I don't know. That's just a weird situation.
That is a weird situation. As the front of the field has calmed down. Battle for second still could be ongoing throughout the end of this race. Brett Sierra has a 5-second gap back to Chris Jericho and Keyshawn Richardson, who are still in a hard battle for second place. Keyshawn started in second, wants to get it back. Jericho starts 6th, trying to get to second to minimize the points lost to Brett Sierra, who's looking like, as long as he can finish out the final 2.5 laps in order, he's going to lead the most laps, win this race, get a max points day, and gain about 15 more points over Chris Jericho, who could end up in second, maybe third, maybe fourth, depending on how this race plays out, if everything stays how it is.
Sierra's running his own race right now up front, but I think he's the biggest Keyshawn Richardson fan right now, hoping that he can at least get past the 18.
Yeah,
just for those few more points.
If he were just a little bit closer to these guys, he could look in his mirror and see how the progress is going, but he's too far up there. I don't even know if he knows the battle's happening right now.
His crew chief is letting him know.
It could be they have many spotters around this racetrack. Each one's updating on the 99 because there's nothing else to update on.
Yeah, he's just kind of on the plus side. I think this is the first time in a while where we don't have to deal with any lap traffic.
Yeah, I think so. And if we do, it's coming out of nowhere. But
Yeah, I don't know who it would be because I don't think the 29 or the 66 were able to continue the race because the damage was pretty significant.
yeah, they were not. So unfortunate for Atkins and Corbett, who are both running up inside the top 10. They're not going to get the results they want. But 2 laps to go. The gap's still about 5 seconds. No real gain. Mathis Wells still in 4th. Luke Rennie having one of the best days he's had of the season. Currently inside the top 5. Definitely could be a momentum booster for him into the second half of this season. Zeidel's currently in 6th. So maybe a story of what if the start maybe went a little bit better for him, what he could be doing in that number 24. Also, Ryan Wilson in 7th place. You have Matthew Burnett up to 8th. He's been very aggressive. He's getting passed by Noah Clifton, who's absolutely flying in this second run. Clifton up to 8th place now by Burnett. Meanwhile, Ronald Kennington started mid-pack for Jasper Motorsports. And once again, Trey, second straight race, he has moved up inside the top 10 late.
He's still trying to show that these other teams that he could be pretty dominant in a car if it had a up to par what's the equipment that is. So you never know. He could be catching the eyes of some guys. Oh my goodness!
Matthew Burnett has been the most aggressive driver here today, and I love it. Every time
is that making him friends or enemies?
Well, I don't know. Every time we have a camera on him, he's been very entertain. He's been entertaining. So. I like that for JRTV's sake.
I'll be curious to see what the other drivers think about that.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what drivers want to say about Matthew Burnett at the end of this race. But this battle for second is still ongoing. Jericho and Keyshawn Richardson, they're going to enter Canada corner side by side. Jericho on the outside, Richardson on the inside trying to grab second away. I think this time he might complete the pass on the 18.
This is going to bring Wells closer as well. He's slowly starting to inch his way in here as we're going to be coming around to the last lap here. Is this 20 got anything for the 18 or the 99?
We'll have to see, and it looks like Keyshawn a little bit wider through the final corner, turn 14, and Jericho right up to the back of him. So this battle for a second could be 3 cars under a blanket at the white flag. Sierra takes the white flag. 4 miles left at Road America for Brett Sierra to win once again in the Winston Cup Series. His first and only win so far this season came in the Daytona 500. Looking to get done here at Road America for the first time ever. He also, remember, won out of road course last season in Riverside over Jericho, who got second in that one.
We'll see. I'm really curious to see what happens with the second place battle because you see who's creeping in here?
Yeah, Mathis Wells making a 3-car race. The battle for 5th was looking to get interesting, but Zeidel misses that corner, and Ryan Wilson wants 6th place from the 24. Will take it easily. Back up to the battle for 2nd. Teammates trying to get by the Roush Racing Ford of Keyshawn Richardson.
Richardson's going to dive it into this corner. Just watch it here. If he can stay on the inside of the 18, he's going to attempt it.
He's getting close to him as well, and Mathis now there. Does he maybe shoot the middle right here up into this corner?
That's a little sketchy there, especially on a teammate.
Oh, and Keyshawn can't get it. Look at, he tried to protect off Wells. The 20's still getting down there, and they're going to go side by side for 3rd place.
He ran that really wide trying to keep it, and he's going to lose a lot of time.
Yeah, Mathis gets to 3rd on the last lap. Richardson back to 4th. Wells' teammate, Jericho, currently in 2nd, but it's the 2nd place driver in points, Brett Sierra, out in front by over 5 seconds. He's dominated this race, and after pit stops, he absolutely pulled away, and it looks like it's going to be him and Jericho, the front in the championship, to maybe get 1-2. Zeidel back to 6th place by Wilson. Burnett's still there. The battle for 9th. Kennington's flying up to the back of the 3rd, too. He could possibly have a shot for the 9th position, but it's Sierra into the final few corners in the 25.
I mean, Joe, he dominated this race. If it wasn't going to be Lathan, I was going to put my money on Sierra. I mean, almost 6 seconds is the gap right now, so I think it's safe to say he's earned this.
The battle for the championship is still on. Up the hill for the final time. The checkered flag is waving in the wind. Brett Sierra's the first ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series winner at Road America. He does it in dominating fashion. The battle for 2nd will be Jericho, Wells. Richardson almost got to Wells for 3rd at the end. Luke Rennie holds on to a top 5. Great run for him. Zeidel and Wilson, Matthew Burnett. Kennington got Clifton for 9th place at the end.
Oh my goodness, that 77 something else lately.
And Laura Chung 11th place. That might just be enough to get her outside of the bottom 10 in points.
How long has it been since she's been trying to fight her way in the top 35?
It's been so long. Look at this pack of cars, Trey. Still, they're all battling for positions. I think every single person has seen a position in front of them they could gain.
And I think they have. I'm pretty impressed they kept it all clean too.
There's Lathan off the final corner. That is heartbreaking.
So
Look how far back he fell off the pack.
At least he didn't get last. I mean,
That is true. Benny Lynn had some other issues in the 33. He'll be the last car to finish on track. But Brett Sierra is the talk of the day. It's now been 3 races in a row. He's outpointed Chris Jericho. And once again, he's back to victory lane for the 2nd time this season. He's only the 4th driver to win multiple races this season, and he had to do it in dominating fashion today, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, if this trend continues, I'm going to say it again, this battle for the points lead is going to get pretty interesting. I mean, I'm hooked.
Yeah, tune in for the summer months because Brett Sierra is heating up and Jericho's cool. I mean, it's hard to say Jericho's cooling off, but it's just a little bit he's cooling off. He's still doing really well, but Sierra's just doing that much better.
Yeah, I think Brett Sierra is starting to get a little bit of a pep in his step right now, and if it can continue, Jericho might want to be watching out here.
Yeah, so before we go check out the finish results and obviously how the points look, let's go see what happened to Justin Atkins and Mitch Corbett right before pit stops, as both of them got heavy damage and ended up retiring their cars. Well, Trey, the unfortunate part of this, I think both drivers were ready to come into the pit lane, battling for 9th and 10th. Mitch Corbett misses turn 13. Atkins up to him, and maybe he kind of misjudged it as well in the 29, and this could be a hard hit for both these drivers. Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. That's just a wall of concrete, too.
Yeah, that doesn't really move.
And then he got pretty dizzy after this as well.
Yeah, that was a lot of spins. Luckily, the gravel slowed him down. But unfortunately, Mitch Corbett and Justin Atkins both out of the race. Let's take a look at this wreck once again in full speed just to show how vicious this crash was. So here's a full speed replay, Trey, and just look at this.
Oh, I mean, Joe, in all honesty, I'm just going to roll that down as a racing incident. 6 missed the corner, 29 hit it. He had a little bit of a run. They were both just pretty much going for the same piece of real estate there, and you can't really fit 2 cars in. We saw the incident and the result of that, so don't really think you can put the blame on anyone.
Yeah, unfortunate for both drivers. Both battling up inside the top 10 all day long, having really good days for drivers that have not had great seasons, or unfortunately didn't end the way they wanted it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and check out the finish results and wrap up the race with Brett Sierra on top of the 25 once again. Welcome back to JRTV for post-race coverage of the Pepsi 500K here at Road America. The first ever time we've come here to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It's Brett Sierra on top, his 2nd career road course win in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. He did it by over 6 seconds over his championship rival, Chris Jericho, who once again minimizes the points lost to Brett Sierra after Sierra's dominant day. Jericho's teammate Matheus also joined him inside the top 3. Great day for Joe Goodrich Racing here today at Road America. Keyshawn Richardson, a really solid day all throughout, gets a top 4. And rounding out the top 5, Luke Rainey, a really good day for RBH Racing in that number 88 team. Zadell also a decent day in 6th. Ryan Wilson, a really good day in 7th. Matthew Burnett, maybe the most aggressive driver here, gets 8th place. Kennington and Clifton round out with top 10s. Great runs for both those smaller teams. Laura Chung, a good day in 11th, but what could have been if she and Kukulon did not make contact on pit road. Conrad Evans moved up nicely for RCR, the highest finishing of those cars. Jamie Stanmore Jr., a good day inside the top 15. Fitzwater moved up well from his bad starting spot to get to 16th, showing once again that road course prowess here in these Winston Cup cars. Keegan Thompson could not back up his performance from Pocono. 18th place for him, not so good. And another one of the Morgan McClure cars, Diego Lopez, has not had the best of seasons, but 20th place for him. Then some other big names down here like Eli Bright in 22nd. Caitlin started well, but got 21st. DeLillo down here 23rd, not the day he was looking for. Also look down Anthony Hernandez in 28th. And then down here, Kukulon 34th, contact on pit road, and then Tim Gary 38th. Lathan Strickland had one of the better cars today, but unfortunate luck leaving pit road 39th, and then 2 cars out, Atkins and Mitch Corbett, as the points once again will tighten up with Brett Sierra gaining another chunk on Chris Jericho's points, and it's down even closer than it was after Pocono. So Trey, we're now midway through the season. We're into the second half of the season. And it's Brett Sierra versus Chris Jericho for the points lead. Matheus Wells could look to maybe close in, but he's a distant ways back. So what do you expect to see in the second half of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season?
I expect this points lead to get shrunken down even more. I expect other contenders to be within the points race as well. And is it bad to say that I expect more tempers to be flaring?
Oh, I think tempers are going to be all throughout the season, Trey. I mean, with how close these teams have gotten to each other in terms of, the speed difference, these drivers are racing closer together than they ever have when they went to the Cup Series. That's just going to create more tempers as we get further onto the season. More is on the line. I think we're going to see a lot of tempers, Trey. Especially, these summer months, they get a little hot in the cars.
I like the tempers. It makes this fun.
Well, if anyone's tempered after Road America, the next race should be one to maybe pay some of the payback back as we go racing to New Hampshire for the New England 300. One of those smaller tracks, a mile in length, some heavy braking corners, Trey. That could be a fun one for sure.
Oh, I can't wait. It's sending time, Joe.
I think it could be sending time. We'll see who can get to victory lane there at New Hampshire. Could it be Brett Sear versus Chris Jericho again? We're going to find out in a week's time on JRTV. Congratulations to Brett Sear for his second win of the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Series. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rakowski. Tune in next week to JRTV for NASCAR Winston Cup Series coverage from the New Hampshire International Speedway.